Well, good afternoon. Amazing video by Neil deGrasse Tyson and a team of some great scientists. I first of all, really four really kind faces. I want to, yeah. I should tell you something about the scientists, and I'll take you with a storyline, and the topic, which was the topic of today's Star Talk episode, consciousness. Yes, no, at my age, I might have spent decades thinking about a lot of things. Consciousness is one of them. But what is my understanding? And it varies. That's it would explain what today's episode was all about. Uh, so, how I've spent some time after watching the episode thinking would uh, would make me think about some very construct my thought process while focusing on this. What is consciousness? So before that, my first impression, I agreed with Neil deGrasse Tyson. What is consciousness? I'm quite skeptical about it because I have really asked Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. They sounded like being conscious beings, and they say, "Oh no, we are not conscious." But I didn't pursue it. Now, why would I ask that? I wanted them to be conscious, or I was testing. I was trying to understand myself. Both the cases. So, because I'm not really sure what is consciousness, and I'll explain it to you as I would construct my thoughts. So now imagine, you have heard, the physics that, measurements and the results. Statistics might bring some kind of a solution to it. Okay, all right, these few variables are very important, and then focusing on another binding constraint, which could really then define stuff. Isolating noise, what is called white noise, from the data, and use statistics to make a judgment, a fairly good judgment that, okay, if one can control these variables, is going to be the result of a scientific model, a mathematical analysis. So I'll start from myself. Imagine me, my two daughters, and my wife suddenly wake up and we are sitting somewhere in Mars, and assume, again, we have this, that mathematicians assume things. I've never been outside Earth as a scientific fact. Mars, oxygen, assume we could breathe. Now, what would I do as a father? There are a few things to consider. It matters a lot that I'm from 21st century. I'm aware of 21st century and what it has produced. I'm aware of human history as well, how architecture has been constructed throughout civilizations. 21st century is a century of comfort, technological comfort. So, I would now, if we were stuck in Mars, in this model that, of course, I cannot go out of Earth without a spaceship. So Mars, I would be just there, assuming it. So now I'm aware of a lot of things. And what would I really do? Consciousness. That's the Turing test of consciousness. So I'm some kind of I'll say, I know examples through human history that consciousness can deliver anything. And I'll sit there like a Buddha and say, okay, let me spend few years sitting there and then recreate everything, a house, markets, and then maybe human beings as well. Dreams. I'm socially really very active in dreams. I meet a lot of people. I meet family members. Even my daughters, they enjoy great parties where they, these birthday cakes and chocolates. And I must say, every human child would have wonderful dreams. Dreams would make children happy. So there is this world of dreams and fiction. Now imagine, that's, what would make me think that, and whether it is possible that I would recreate everything. That's, my friends, is science. The answer is science. Probabilities are going to lead you to a right answer. It is highly improbable that I would ever recreate something. It is more, convenient to then create a spaceship and go back to Earth. Imagine the world has just so much choices. With a single constraint that I am now sitting in Mars with the awareness about a lot of things I know about science, spirituality, fiction, and the world of architecture, economics, human thought, human behaviors. And we four people would my wife and my daughters would be looking up to me for really provide a solution to it. Then the scientific plausibility is we might be able to go to a cave or something, and just reminiscent about 21st century Earth. That's the most probable answer. And my friend, surviving Mars is not a small achievement. It's not a small feat. If we could survive Mars and then wait for some kind of a traveler, maybe Elon Musk, these coincidences. Oh, maybe Elon Musk is going to come and build a space society at Mars. So we could be, I could be trying to create some new science where I could be sure when Elon Musk is going to be flying to or sending his SpaceX rocket to Mars, and then we will be saved. But saved from what? Awareness, my friends. 21st century awareness, I know. Consciousness and awareness. Interesting. I've given you a small clue to the amazing possibilities, near infinite possibilities of human thought and what could be possible in science. And then, a bit of statistics. See, what a beautiful mathematical construct I have made. Suddenly, and now consciousness, something about consciousness, abstractness. Consciousness means abstractness, as far as I'm concerned. Neil deGrasse Tyson is right to be skeptical. Scientists are right to be skeptical. Because in physics, you are astrophysics. You intend to figure out the probabilities and possibilities of survival. It doesn't work with notions and emotions. That's a science. I've already given you an example. Again, even if I can construct everything, still that won't be science, my friends. Because science would make a certain circumstances happen yet again and again, a method to follow. A method which could be conveniently be followed while having all those constraints, these legal constraints, the constraints of human society, how it functions. While if I come, this world has been built with a scientific effort while still retaining abstractness. Science see abstractness with a lot of respect. And then, scientists, somebody like me who might become a little bit robotic, that's how, even small challenges or great challenges, even in 21st century. It's no more about just eating food, living, just going to sleep anywhere you want, and then waking up and then start the routine again. 21st century is about consciousness, my friends. What you see in 21st century is the conscious outcome of Mother Earth, if I may so. That's, see? Playing with words. Neil deGrasse Tyson will say, man, I don't care, I have more problems to solve, really. You are just making an oratory while Newton, few hundred years ago, and Einstein were sitting on their table, spending nights, especially Newton spending nights working on his theories and then establish his theories of movement, Newtonian laws of movement. So now you understand. But yes, abstractness, love. My mother used to say, that when you have children, Allah puts something in the parents that they will love them. Yeah, it happened to me as well. I don't know what it is. Love, abstract. Infinite love, you can feel it. Infinite knowledge, you cannot really take it. So I mean, imagine it's an amazing thought process, and awareness, and that's why Islam, I would say, has a scientific orientation and has an abstract orientation. A lot of good understanding. I know this. I mean, I have come up to these conclusions with maybe different examples of words. But then, yeah, Islam is a lot of scientific. It's not about really control, but still, yeah, I know, the wars and all that history might even represent control as well. Somebody's trying to control circumstances. I mean, that's everybody does that. Control. If you use the word balance, if you use the word equity, suddenly the whole storyline changes. And that is a bit of marketing. And now there was another example with this. My favorite, must be my favorite scientist. I could have said, our two. I'm kind of black man. I associate myself. I'm a dude with a brown skin, trying to act like a black man. So I mean, anyway, with a pink shirt. 1,000 minds. I mean, it's just let me explain to you. What it means is that our cognitive outputs are so much multitasking. Simple as that. And a bit of marketing. In those thousands of brains, who are the really representative leaders, the leading brains, as an economist? And then marketing. Oh, my friend is a really great storyteller. And oh my, human cognition, of course. Maybe there is a storyteller